We're going to go with Stratton Brown, and we're going to talk about the current real estate market right now. Also going to announce our podcast guest for this week. So right now I'm just waiting for some people to hop on here so we can talk about things here. But, if you have any questions right now, please put them down below. Me and Stratton are going to answer it. I'm just waiting for him to hop on here. And that's it. So how's it going, Ben? How's it going? I can't even say your name. Grimes J4472. How's it going? So I'm just going to wait for some people to hop on here. We can go over everything. But, it's a crazy real estate market out there right now. And we're going to help explain and break down what's going on. And we're just going to really help you guide you through these crazy waters that's going on right now. So how's it going, Dre? So wait for Stratton to hop on here. But let's see. So it's 6:04. So he's going to be a couple minutes late. I think he texted me, but we should be fine. So get some people coming on here. So comment below. Where are you guys from? What real estate market are you guys in right now? I know a lot of people all over the country in the real estate markets, and it'd be interesting to see where you guys are to see if you're in a good market or you're in a market that needs some help here. So how's it going, guys? Hop you on here. So I've actually did a live before. This is our second live that we've done on this Instagram. We do some on the YouTube a little bit, and some of them are a little better than others. We actually released a new video on the YouTube coming out tomorrow, and that's it. So all right, so we got some guys here. So we got CJ. He is from Indiana. Wow. So Indiana is a great market. We actually have some PPS students who do very well with probates in Indiana. And it's overall a great market. They're actually doing in the Indianapolis region, but it's like a suburb, so I don't even know the name of it. But Indiana's a great place. Dre from Orlando. Dre, are you actually living in Orlando, or are you doing virtual deals in Orlando? Because it seems like when I talk to a guy doing deals in Orlando, it's half and half. They live in like Wisconsin and they're virtually doing deals in Orlando, and there's other guys, actually living there doing deals. Orlando's really crazy right now. There's so many people. There's a lot of competition. It gets insane. So, okay. So yeah, Dre, if you're living in Orlando, you should be great. We don't really do too much deals in Orlando. It's a little too north of where we're at. We're just north of Palm Beach. So Stratton is on right here. Sweet. So before I put him on here, he's about to go on here. I'm not forgetting about you, Ben, on Green Bay too. Great market also. So this week's podcast guest is on Thursday, Steve Trank. So Steve Trank is going to be joining us on Thursday on the Baxter Riches podcast. I'm pumped. He's a great dude. It was an amazing podcast, and I can't wait for you guys to go check him out and check out the podcast. We really went in detail on this business, his journey, and that's it. So let's pop up Stratton right here. Let's see if he's on real quick. Let's see here. All right, we're waiting for him to pop on here. So,
What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. I just got off a mastermind call with Steve.
All right, sweet. So, yeah, you guys are live here. So, let's see here. Yeah, so we got Steve coming on the podcast on Thursday. But he's a great dude. It was a great podcast. We went for like an hour or so, but he's definitely the real deal. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's the real deal. Sales training's legit too.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the sales dude. So he's got the systems. One cool fact I learned from the podcast is his brokerage business, which is separate from the wholesaling, has like a 1% market share.
He has over 100 agents. Like he has his own title company. He'll tell you all about it. Like Steve is a very, very, very savvy businessman.
He's insane. So yeah, so this is actually the first time I've actually talked to you. So we're going back and forth here. I wanted you on the podcast, but it's going to take a while for you to get on there just because I have a lot recorded from previously, but you're definitely going to be on there. I guess it's an announcement now, but I think you have a really cool story. But I really wanted to hop you on here and just talk about the state of real estate investing and the craziness that's going on now. So can you give a brief introduction if people who don't know you?
Yeah, man. My name's Stratton Brown. I'm based out of the Fresno, California market. We cover all of the Central Valley. We do virtual. We do belly to belly. And yeah, that's pretty much all we do. Our main marketing channels are texting, cold calling, and then we're really going to try and pivot into online marketing this quarter.
Oh, really? Okay. So where are you trying to do your virtual online marketing?
So no, we'll go into Phoenix probably next quarter. We're partnering up with some people out there,
Oh,
but
snap.
then we'll cover we go down to Ridgecrest, California, all the way up to Sacramento.
Okay.
And so Fresno is probably 2 to 3 hours from both those areas.
Hmm.
And so if there's anything within an hour, generally we'll go out there. We'll all go out there. Anything else, I just buy it over the phone.
Wow. So you're going to be in competition with Steve then?
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. Yeah. So you definitely, it's hard to have an advantage when you got like someone like Steve or Max in the living room going against him, but virtually you should do very well. I know some guys doing well over there. So yeah, so you're in Fresno, California right now. So, I want to go into your story really deeply on the podcast, but for right now, I just want to go over the situation going out with this whole coronavirus and real estate investing. So I actually got a lot of questions. I'm getting DMs out the wazoo about this. So just a couple answers for you guys. I'm getting a lot of questions like, what are you doing now? How's the market shifting? I can answer this for you guys right now. I'm getting sellers calling me frantically that they need to sell their house now and they want to sell now before everything dips. And, we're really taking a step back and just looking at everything from a perspective, because I don't know if this is similar to what you're doing, Stratton, but for the past 2 years, it's been a run and chasing game with wholesaling where you got the seller, you have to run up there, get the contract, get the buyer, and just get everything done as soon as possible. And things are really flipping now to, the buyers are a little wary and the market's starting to be a little wary too. So you can't really be the first guy there getting all these contracts and just trying to find buyers, right?
Yeah. So I just did this on Sunday. So we just used the coronavirus to our benefit.
Oh,
I
really?
was like, hey, honestly, with the way everything's going on, the market's crashing. Like, I don't know what other investors are willing to do. I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy. I try and be conservative. After my offer today, I just got to pull it off the table. If you do call me the next couple of days, I promise you it's going to drop at least $5,000.
Wow.
And then they called me the next day. They're like, hey, we really want to move forward with you. Can you write it up? So that's what we're doing. And then obviously just buying deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't had anybody back out on me. I try and keep my buyer relationships really good. But then I've had someone in our office had someone back out on them. Yeah, so we're just trying to, and we always do $5,000 earnest money. If they wanted to get rid of that, cool. Like, I have people who will buy it for less, but they're going to close.
Nice. So are these buyers, are they hard money or are they actually buying it all cash?
We have both. We have
Okay.
friends who will buy it hard money, they'll buy it their own cash, private funding. It really doesn't matter. Generally, I don't buy anything that doesn't look like, oh, it's a skinny deal, because I always want to perform.
Yeah.
Like, we're telling someone, hey, you're going to sell one of the largest assets you own. And then you don't perform. They get all this, they think they're going to do all this with their money and everything else. So we never cancel contracts. So anything we do lock up, it's at a point to where, yeah, I feel confident to where if anything happens, I can go to someone like, hey, this isn't going on. Do you want this? I'd give it away if I have to. Or like, hey, do you want to partner on this?
Wow. So what's the average deal margin there in Fresno?
We shoot for about $20,000.
Okay, that's pretty good for a wholesale. I mean, I believe right now it's such a wary time now. I actually talked to some realtors, and they're telling me what's going on out there. Holy moly! But yeah, so I'm actually having buyers right now with the hard money. They're freaking out with me. Like, they don't want to be on these deals. Like, they are flipping out right now. And I have the guys who are cash, and they've really just told me. I called them. They said, we're waiting right now. We got to wait 2 to 3 weeks. And it's really concerning to me now. But, I got some buyers that they tell me if this is a good discount, they'll do it. Mostly, renters. Like, they buy 20 rental properties a year, and they just get it from us. So those are the guys we're really focusing on. But, are you trying to beef up your cash buyers list now?
Little by little, yeah. That's one thing that we're really going to try and go into. I haven't even thought about it going forward into this market. I feel like this week has been the worst of it all. Like, San Francisco kind of just declared martial law or whatever, where no one can go outside of their house. We're 3 hours away from there.
Yeah.
And so that's a little different. And so we just locked up a deal today, and we'll see how we dispo this and what our buyers are really saying, because we locked one up last week. We have a bunch of people banging down our door for a multifamily property, but that's a little bit different. Buyers are a lot more hungry for that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, are you trying to look into more of a shift on creative deals too?
Yeah, so we're buying one sub two today, and that came from another wholesaler, and we're looking at another one. That is one thing that I've really tried to I have one of my friends, Michael Zuber. We're partnering with everything if we need it. He has probably 200 rentals, and so we're going to try and buy up as many subject to properties as we possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, I've personally never met Michael, but I know he's the real deal too. He's got a lot of rentals, and
Yeah,
he's definitely the cash flow guy. So he's a great guy. I think his YouTube's one rental at a time. Check him
yeah,
out. Great dude. But yeah, I mean, he'd be interesting too. But we're actually beefing up the creative financing right now because we see a huge opportunity in our market.
massive.
I don't know where you're in Fresno, so I don't know how well in the service industry that one is, but we have some cities by us in South Florida that are 50%. These guys on these neighborhoods, they're all in the service industry, and if things get worse, I mean, they're going to get laid off,
Oh, yeah.
and it's going to be a situation where we can go in and get some money and get some deals.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. We aren't that bad. We're a lot more agricultural community.
Mm-hmm.
But even like this one we're buying, it's probably a $350,000 house and our entry is only
Yeah,
like 15 grand.
man. Yeah,
Built like 2 years ago. So like, and that's in one area. So if we can keep doing stuff like that, that'll be awesome if we can just keep buying debt like that.
Yeah, so I don't want to go into, because I know you're with Steve and, he's helping you with the coaching, but do you think you're going to start beefing up your marketing or you're just going to try to slim it down and keep it leaner?
I'll beef it up until I feel like there's not a return,
Okay.
especially pre-foreclosures. And I mean, I'm not some like master guru, like, oh yeah, beef up your marketing, the recession's here. Like, I mean, this is a first time thing for me. So, but I feel like everyone's going to be on their phones for the next, how long, like 3 weeks? Like if everybody
Yeah.
like has to stay in their homes and then we're just in front of them all the time and we can get that much of an impression on people. It sounds like a good play to me. Like I'm willing to fork off the money to like let all that happen.
Oh, it's definitely coming up. I mean, we're actually starting to cold call some of our Podio leads that, they didn't go with me, but they actually put it on the market and they started calling. I'm like, hey, is that a $300,000 offer well right now? How's that going? And, they're not getting any offers anymore. It's going to take them some
Right.
while, but
Yeah.
they'll come back to me and it should be good. But these realtors are just giving false promises. And now with this, I mean, they promised them like 300K and they'll do it within 2 weeks and it's not going to happen. I can swoop
Yeah,
in.
no, it's not going to happen at all. And we haven't started doing that yet,
Mhm.
but we walked away from two to where someone else said they'd pay them more money, and now they're just going to get a call from me every week. And I even
Oh,
like we
definitely.
plant the seeds, like, hey, are you sure they're going to close? Like, have you gotten their like non-refundable earnest money deposit? I just had someone in my office have someone back out on him who was a partner, and then he just got left out in the dark and was scrambling for money. Like, are you sure that's not going to happen to you? Like, are you sure
Yeah.
this buyer's going to close? And like, if you just plant those seeds, like, oh shit, oh,
Planting
maybe
the
you're right.
seeds. I plant seeds like crazy. Like that's all what I was doing this morning. I was just planting seeds, putting doubt in these people that got their house listed. I'm dealing a couple short sales right now, which I think I can leverage this whole coronavirus pretty well with the banks. And we're using this for a huge opportunity. But I'm not really going out telling our students that you guys need to go all in on Facebook ads and just go on these appointments like crazy. I think a conservative approach, being smart with your marketing, you still have to market. If you're not marketing now, you're screwed. And
Grand.
holy moly. But yeah, so I'm actually having buyers right now with the hard money. They're freaking out with me. They need to sell their house now and they want to sell now before everything dips. And we're really taking a step back and just looking at everything from a perspective, because I don't know if this is similar to what you're doing, Stratton, but for the past 2 years, it's been a run and chasing game with wholesaling where you got the seller, you have to run up there, get the contract, get the buyer, and just get everything done as soon as possible. And things are really flipping now to, the buyers are a little wary and the market's starting to be a little wary too. So you can't really be the first guy there getting all these contracts and just trying to find buyers, right?
Yeah. So I just did this on Sunday. So we just used the coronavirus to our benefit.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, hey, honestly, with the way everything's going on, the market's crashing. Like, I don't know what other investors are willing to do. I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy. I try and be conservative. After my offer today, I just got to pull it off the table. If you do call me the next couple of days, I promise you it's going to drop at least $5,000.
Wow.
And then they called me the next day. They're like, hey, we really want to move forward with you. Can you write it up? So that's what we're doing. And then obviously just buying deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't had anybody back out on me. I try and keep my buyer relationships really good. But then I've had someone in our office had someone back out on them. Yeah, so we're just trying to, and we always do $5,000 earnest money. If they wanted to like get rid of that, cool. Like I have people who will buy it for less, but they're going to close.
Nice. So are these buyers, are they hard money or are they actually buying it all cash?
We have both. We have like friends who will buy it hard money, they'll buy it their own cash, private funding. It really doesn't matter. Generally, I don't buy anything that doesn't look like, oh, it's a skinny deal, because I always want to perform.
Yeah.
Like we're telling someone, hey, you're going to sell one of the largest assets like you own. And then you don't perform. They get all this, like they think they're going to do all this with their money and everything else. So we never cancel contracts. So anything we do lock up, it's at a point to where, yeah, I feel confident to where if anything happens, I can go to someone like, hey, this isn't going on. Do you want this? Like I'd give it away if I have to. Or like, hey, do you want to partner on this?
Wow. So what's the average deal margin there in Fresno?
We shoot for about $20,000.
Okay, that's pretty good for a wholesale. I mean, I believe right now it's such a wary time now. I actually talked to some realtors, and they're telling me what's going on out there. Holy moly! But yeah, so I'm actually having buyers right now with the hard money. They're freaking out with me. Like they don't want to be on these deals. Like they are flipping out right now. And I have the guys who are cash, and they've really just told me. I called them. They said, we're waiting right now. We got to wait 2 to 3 weeks. And it's really concerning to me now. But, you know, I got some buyers that they tell me if this is a good discount, they'll do it. Mostly, you know, renters. Like they buy like 20 rental properties a year, and they just get it from us. So those are the guys we're really focusing on. But, you know, are you trying to beef up your cash buyers list now?
Little by little, yeah. That's one thing that we're really going to try and go into. I haven't even thought about it going forward into this market. I feel like this week has been the worst of it all. Like San Francisco kind of just declared like martial law or whatever, where no one can go outside of their house. We're like 3 hours away from there.
Yeah.
And so that's a little different. And so we just locked up a deal today, and we'll see how we dispo this and what our buyers are really saying, because we locked one up last week. We have a bunch of people banging down our door for like a multifamily property, but that's a little bit different. Buyers are a lot more hungry for that. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, are you trying to look into more of a shift on creative deals too?
Yeah. So we're buying one sub 2 today, and that came from another wholesaler, and we're looking at another one. That is one thing that I've really tried to have one of my friends, Michael Zuber. We're partnering with everything if we need it. He has probably 200 rentals, and so we're going to try and buy up as many subject to properties as we possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, I've personally never met Michael, but I know he's the real deal too. He's got a lot of rentals, and he's definitely the cash flow guy. So he's a great guy. I think his YouTube's one rental at a time. Check him out. Yeah. Great dude. But yeah, I mean, he'd be interesting too. But we're actually beefing up the creative financing right now because we see a huge opportunity in our market.
Massive.
You know, I don't know where you're in Fresno, so I don't know how, you know, well in the service industry that one is, but we have some cities by us in South Florida that are 50%. These guys on these neighborhoods, they're all in the service industry, and if things get worse, I mean, they're going to get laid off. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be a situation where we can go in and get some money and get some deals.
Oh yeah, pretty much. We aren't that bad. We're a lot more agricultural community. Mm-hmm. But even like this one we're buying, it's probably a $350,000 house, and our entry is only like $15,000.
Man,
built like 2 years ago. So like, and that's in one area. So if we can keep doing stuff like that, that'll be awesome. If we can just keep buying debt like that.
Yeah. So I don't want to go into, you know, because I know you're with Steve, and you know he's helping you with the coaching. But do you think you're going to start beefing up your marketing, or you're just going to try to slim it down and keep it leaner?
I'll beef it up until I feel like there's not a return.
Okay.
Especially pre-foreclosures. And I mean, I'm not some like master guru, like, oh yeah, beef up your marketing, the recession's here. Like, I mean, this is a first time thing for me. So, but I feel like everyone's going to be on their phones for the next, how long? Like 3 weeks? Like if everybody like has to stay in their homes, and then we're just in front of them all the time, and we can get that much of an impression on people. It sounds like a good play to me. Like, I'm willing to fork off the money to like let all that happen.
Oh, it's definitely coming up. I mean, we're actually starting to cold call some of our Podio leads that, they didn't go with me, but they actually put it on the market, and they started calling them like, hey, is that a $300,000 offer well right now? How's that going? And, they're not getting any offers anymore. It's going to take them some while, but they'll come back to me, and it should be good. But these realtors are just giving false promises. And now with this, I mean, they promised them like $300K, and they'll do it within 2 weeks, and it's not going to happen. I can swoop in.
No, it's not going to happen at all. And we haven't started doing that yet, but we walked away from 2 to where someone else said they'd pay them more money, and now they're just going to get a call from me every week. And I even plant the seeds. Like, hey, are you sure they're going to close? Like, have you gotten their like non-refundable earnest money deposit? I just had someone in my office have someone back out on him who was a partner. And then he just got left out in the dark and was scrambling for money. Like, are you sure that's not going to happen to you? Like, are you sure this buyer's going to close? And like, if you just plant those seeds, like, oh shit.
Planting the seeds. I plant seeds like crazy. Like that's all what I was doing this morning. I was just planting seeds, putting doubt in these people that got their house listed. I'm dealing with a couple short sales right now, which I think I can leverage this whole coronavirus pretty well with the banks. And, we're using this for a huge opportunity, but, I'm not really going out telling our students that you guys need to go all in on Facebook ads and just go on these appointments like crazy. I think a conservative approach, being smart with your marketing, you still have to market. If you're not marketing now, you're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
So I really believe that this is such a crazy time we're living in now, and if we go in some lockdown situation, you should be able to go behind your computer and still lock down these deals.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be good over the phone. And even if you do go into that whole situation, like, okay, what processes can we get done? Like, okay, who do I got to call? Like, am I going to call a consultant and be like, okay, we can't really go to belly anymore. What in my business has hiccups? What can I improve? Where can I cut the fat? And then you could just use it as an admin day to really just dial stuff in.
Definitely. I mean, when this thing unfolds, it's going to unfold even more. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I know it's happening in California. Here in Florida, it's not really that bad right now, but it's going to get worse. I'm going to butcher this quote, but, when the tide comes out, you're going to see who's wearing shorts or not. And it's going to be a very, very interesting month to see which wholesalers are over leveraged with their marketing and the properties that they're buying. What kind of operation are you running now on your business?
So it's me, and then I have 5 cold callers, 1 leads manager, 1 admin, and then 1 full-time texter.
That's great. So, what do you think about these guys that are out here that have like 10 like US-based cold callers? They're paying $15 an hour. They got these crazy payroll, overhead, benefits. I mean, these people are just leveraging out like crazy. I don't think it's going to go very well. And that model I feel like it's going to be tested very hard in this market. Do you agree?
So I agree with that. For one, when I worked for another investor, we built out a call center of like 8 people. Major pain in the ass. The training of it, the overhead of it, the morale of it, then turnover. The turnover of the employees, that wasn't even worth it to me. Yeah. And you got to pay them 13 plus.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, I can outsource it at like $5.50 an hour to where all I want to do is get a yes or a no, and our leads manager calls them anyways. Obviously, we're running into some things like with the multifamily stuff to where we're going to have to find someone on Upwork who's just really sophisticated, or find someone in-house. Or I'm looking to hire on actual acquisitions guy. But for that whole cold calling stuff, like if they can get deals out of it, awesome. But it's not something I thought was really that good. We didn't see a good return out of it.
No,
and we dropped a lot of money into it.
Definitely. I mean, the only guy that I could think of that is in that model, like I love bashing that model sometimes, but there's some guys that are straight killers, and I know in this market cycle they're going to do great. One dude out in Phoenix that does is Keegley, Jamil, and Josiah. They should be fine, and they have that model, but they have it down so pat, like they're so good at it they should be able to just do great in this market. I think the other guys that don't have the systems down are just going to get killed. So those are the only guys I see really doing well with that type of marketing.
Yeah. I don't even know anyone else who really, really has it going.
Yeah.
Like that, cold calling wise. For me, man, I just say you got to get in front of them, get a yes, no, or maybe, and then top of funnel, and just keep driving everything down. Definitely. Get as many top of funnel, leads manager goes, clears it all. Okay, now these people are somewhat serious, and it makes it to me. That's all I care about. Like, I don't care about someone selling over the phone right away. All their job is to do is just to sift. Like, I pay them to sift. It's like they're going through the list already. Like, okay, they want to sell, they want to sell, they want to sell, they want to sell.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't even think about this, but with this marketing, I mean, we got the Sherpa going crazy now, but this should be the perfect time to go like just hammering that Sherpa because, you know, usually we do it in the mornings and in the evenings when people are home. They're at home all the time now, so you can even go crazier on that. So I guess I would say if you want to beef up your marketing, I would just get the bigger thing of Sherpa. I don't know, use Roar or something like that. But I feel like text blasting is going to get very insane in a couple months.
I'm interested to see it. I'm going into online marketing because I see text blasting not lasting more than 6 months.
Really?
If you just look at what the government's trying to do to like flag it, and then the carriers getting really smart and shit's getting flagged to where, okay, now that's going to start to get blocked up. And then like, I don't know if you had that problem with Sherpa to where like texts weren't going through. With
no, we
Roar,
changed it. Right? Oh my God, it's a mess.
With Roar, they couldn't deliver to AT&T numbers. Like we use batch right now. But then I don't want to be like the tide goes out and I got no pants on. I'm sitting there screwed because we're investing so much money into texting. Just more legs for your stool is how I see it.
Batch skip tracing, that's Jesse, right?
Yeah. And
that's good
awesome
service.
Skip tracing. I don't really like Lead Sherpa for texting. I love their texting platform, Batches. And I used Roar before. And then I switched over from that.
That's great. I mean, there's just so many killers in Phoenix. And with our podcast, I'm telling you, I think I interviewed 5 out of 6 top guys in Phoenix, coaching-wise, not even like deals-wise. And I'm still trying to get on them. So if you're in Phoenix, you think you got a cool market, DM me. I'll try to get on the podcast too. But, you know, that's insane. So, I mean, how are RVMs by you?
We don't really do them.
Really?
I don't like the admin part of it. We did them for a while, but from what I saw, it was a compliment. I probably just wasn't doing enough to where some guy was like, hey, you guys have fucking called me. You sent me these goddamn letters. I've got a text. And then I get a voicemail from you. Like, I'm going to sell. And like that's how it worked to where it was like omnipresence marketing, not just driving traffic. But I didn't really focus on RVMs.
Okay. So let me see if I can pop this up. All right, guys. So if you got any questions for Stratton or me, just please comment them below. Can you see the comments on here?
Yeah, let me see here.
Yeah. Answer some questions we got here. So I want to help some people out here today. All right, so we got.
Steve's a man. I do virtual online for wholesalers. Which list should we be targeting with the current market? Pre-foreclosure.
Definitely.
Is one thing we are going to be hitting heavy. We have some knockers as well.
Okay, so you do have door knockers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 knockers. 1.
So.
The other one quit. 1.
So how are you paying those guys?
Commission.
Okay.
Commission.
So yeah, that's the way I think about it. Like if you did an hourly on these door knockers, I just feel like they knock 2 doors and just that's it. I mean, are you using an app?
Yeah. So what we do is we have a VA go scrub the courthouse every morning, and it takes all those. She'll go upload it into batch skip tracing, get them skip traced, upload it into our call tools and stuff, and then our texting platform. Then she uploads it into Sales Rabbit, and then all of our knockers use Sales Rabbit.
Okay, so it's called Sales Rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea what that is, but that just helps him drive for dollars and it shows him routes, stuff like that.
No driving for dollars, it just tracks it, right? So like, okay, you've gone to this house 3 times, I haven't been home. It's like a little CRM.
Wow.
With like a map for everything. And so like they can see it, it'll plan a route for them. It's pretty cool.
Wow. So another question is, what software are you using for Text Blast? I think we answered that. Batch skip tracing. I think I can't. I don't think I can comment. It's batch skip tracing. Just check them out. Cool service. Yeah. I've used it for a couple times. I don't think I use them now, but I'm going to check them out again too. But
who do you use?
We actually use IDI, so we actually have a contract. We got some other guys too. I mean, that's the only. I mean, we're at the point where we do so many that it's cheaper for us to do it. I mean, when you're a wholesaler starting out and you need to do like 100 a month, I mean, I'd use a guy like that. But for us, we get the 3 text. Be very wary of the dude that there's some dudes out there that do it extremely cheap, but you get 1 phone number.
And it's garbage. It's garbage data.
It's garbage. We've tried it. I think I saw one for like 2 to 3 cents. I'm like, oh, let's get it. And I figured out the hard way that you could only get 1 phone number. And that got me pretty upset.
Yeah, you're just going to be burning money. Like, if you pay for quality, I know Need to Skip has one. I've heard a lot of people using IDI, Real Skip. I like Batch the most. Skip Genie is really good too. That's about all of them. Yeah,
so let me see here. We got another question here. So we got a question from Ben again. So how about probate? So probate again, you know, Rick's the king of probates. He created a priority probate system. So check out probaterick.com if you got any questions on that. But probate's a little morbid question right now. So if situations arise where people are passing away from this, probates are going to still happen. You know, motivated sellers will happen from probates. And the question is, are you going to mail the probates or not? And it's a sticky situation, I'd say. But definitely we hammer probates. Those are always our most profitable deals. And we're probably going to, it's morbid to say this, but you're going to have to allocate for some more money for probates if things get worse.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a great way to make money. We actually got a pretty cool story. I got a testimony from a dude in Sacramento. He's doing 6 figures probate over in Sacramento, doing great. But Sacramento's a crazy market.
Yeah, we just went in there like last week. It's huge, a lot bigger than Fresno. Like, because I think Fresno's 1 million. I don't know how big Sacramento is, but we have like 70,000 records for up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's madness. It's not usually what we do. We do a lot more niche, and then equity zip codes for the Fresno area, and then little dinky towns, just in spots like that, real rural areas.
I'm telling you, those dinky little towns, those are where you get the best deals possible because there's the least amount of competition there sometimes.
No one's there, you know, and like no one's in these big markets. Everyone's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 I want to get into it. A lot of times when it's these little dinky markets where it's just older communities or it's like farming communities, no one's in there, and then they're great cash flow markets as well.
Let me see here. That's my question. I want to tell this to this dude. He said he was in Orlando. Okay, so Dre, you're in Orlando. So cool tip I can give you right now is I know you actually live in Orlando Metro. Check out places like Sanford, like Land O'Lakes. Those are outskirts. Like those are dinky towns in Orlando. I don't do deals there, but I've done deals there before just from, you know, referrals and stuff. Check out those little outskirt areas. They're amazing, especially in Orlando because there's just no competition there. People don't want to go there. So that's it. So let's see. Got any more questions for us? I mean, I can be here all day talking about this. So I had a fun time contacting all the people on Podio today. It was there's a lot of panic. I'm actually getting sellers calling me now panicked. They're like, I want to sell it now for this price because it's going to go down like the stocks. And I mean, what do you have to say to like sellers like that?
Okay, and give them like a couple grand less so that way they don't. I never give anybody what they want because then they'll feel like they could have gotten more. I don't know how you do it, but every time I've done it, it just never goes well. Or they feel like, oh, it was too easy. I could have gotten more money from someone else. Then there's that seller's remorse. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel the same way. If I'm going to do this, I need to be right here and come in like 5-10 grand less and then negotiate from there. But at least it still feels like a fight because you don't want someone to feel remorse after, like buyer's remorse or seller's remorse.
No, definitely. I mean, seller's remorse, I don't think I've ever had that situation. I guess they get remorseful if they find out I had a big deal on it. But, you know, right now, are you strictly doing wholesaling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only wholesale, then buy and hold creative financing.
All
and
right,
we'll buy, one will close next week, and that'll be my first rental.
Okay.
And then we have 2 more under contract, but one of them had a fat solar thing on it that I don't think I want.
I keep forgetting you're in California, so just a quick tip for you guys: if you're in Orlando or Florida like me, California is so crazy with rent controls, solar on new things. It's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. I mean, does Subject 2 different with these rent controls?
No, because we're going to do a lease option out of it.
Okay.
So it's a rent to own. So I'm not really worried about it. And then rent control doesn't affect single family homes. For a triplex that we're looking at right now, anything that's more than one door gets affected. But just for single family homes, as far as I know, you don't have to worry about it.
So no rent control in a single family house?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no rent control for that. And then honestly, if you'd say, hey, I have to rehab the property and it's going to take 30 days, then you have just cause to remove them from the property. Now you may have to pay for some moving expenses. But if you just, okay, I need to buy it at this because I got to wait the 30 days, I got to pay for the moving expenses, include it in your offer. And that's kind of what you have to do now.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on this new legislation? I guess I saw in San Francisco, I think in the city of San Fran, that if the renter has coronavirus, they basically don't have to pay for as long as, or they can't get evicted for as long as they have it or the situation's arising. I mean, is this something going on by you?
No, but I mean, that's what is like going to cause the recession, is that no one can work. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's understandable, but then like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to pay my bills?
Yeah.
Now say you have 5 renters who get coronavirus and they can't pay rent, and then you're sitting there like, oh man, where are they going to go once the bank forecloses? So, I mean, it's a two-way street. I understand what they're trying to do, but I mean, not all landlords are some massive hedge funds. Like, it's going to really affect mom and pop business.
That's the same opinion I have. I mean, I think certain political candidate, if they get elected, they're going to have like a 25% like house flipping tax, something crazy like that.
Don't vote for Bernie. Don't vote for Bernie.
Completely
Not if you're in real
agree with you.
estate. Not if you're in real estate. You're just fighting your own hand.
That's insane. Like, it's just the laws I see coming out of California are crazy. I mean, so what's going on with the solar there then?
So with this, solar's usually not bad, but it's a solar lease, and so that adds on to like my debt payment. So I got to pay $1,000 mortgage. Yeah, and like I don't want a lease, and it's like $25,000 to pay it off, and like the whole thing. So I got $1,000 mortgage, then I got $125 solar lease payment, and so I got to have both of those. Then once I do the rent to own, I have to assign that solar lease to the rent to own person, and I have to increase my overall lease option. So say it's what is that, 12? Let's call it 1,300. I was only planning on lease optioning it for like 1,500. Really eats up my cash flow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
So if that thing was gone, it's only $100 a month, but that kind of adds up over time.
Definitely. I mean, I think a great advice I heard about sub-twos and lease options was from Pace. He says you got to at least have $200 just tucked away for like crazy stuff if something insane happens. Plus, you got to have at least a $400 margin. And, I see people arguing with advice like that. And in a situation like this, that extra $200 will save your butt.
Yeah, that'd save my butt. And so that's like, man, the wholesaler sent it to me. I was like, yeah, sounds like a deal. I get there, then there's solar. I was like, okay, do they own it? He's like, oh, it might be a power purchase agreement. It might be a lease. I was like, if it's a lease, I just don't want it. It's not worth my headache.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that sucks about that solar lease is the savings aren't even passed on to you. It's passed on to the actual tenant because they're not paying anything. It basically in like
yeah, I mean, they can pay it, but then I got to sign it. It's really just not a problem I want, and it's not a smoking enough deal to be like, oh, yeah, screw it. I'll figure it out.
I mean, what kind of – is that like a Tesla solar panel? Like $25,000?
No, they're usually all that much. I think it is with Tesla, though.
Okay.
Is what the company is. But like the big companies out here, like Sunrun, Vivint, Solar City, which is Tesla. But yeah, so that's that. Sub-twos, though, I'm really excited about. To where now we can get really backed by some good capital and use Pace's model. We should be able to take down a bit. And if I can get $300 a door and we can buy them up with no money into it like Pace does, man, that's awesome.
It's great. I mean, you just got to beef up your guys here. So CJ asks us, any tips on getting your first deal right now in this environment? What are your tips?
What are your tips? I'd cold call my ass off.
Yep.
Everyone's home. Cold call and text your ass off. Without a doubt. I mean, I wouldn't door knock. I have a friend who's in door-to-door sales, but it's like, man, would anybody really answer their door to some stranger knocking around? What if you're sick? I wouldn't answer the door. I'd say text, door knock, get in a sales training and learn how to buy over the phone. Because at this point, like, what if you can't go anywhere for the next 3 months and you really can't buy over the phone? Everyone else who can, they're getting all the deals.
100%. Yeah, I mean, if I had to get my first deal now, I'd probably cold call too. I mean, there's sneaky ways. Like, I always recommend using some of the skip trace, but if I was like dirt poor, like I had no money and I had to pull free lists, you can do like True People Search, white pages. Like, if you have a hunger for it, you can go out there and cold call. So pre-foreclosures, do you like cold calling those lists? Like pre-foreclosures?
It's hard, dude, because they're getting hammered by everyone, so they don't even want to pick up their phone. A lot of the times we're door knocking them. We do cold call them, like they get thrown into our niche list, but I don't really see a lot of fruit come from it. We 100%. Try and text them the best, but I'd try and do it, man. Right now, if there's a time to do it, I'd say the list to call is pre-foreclosures, and I'd just hammer them all day. And then what's another good niche list? Code violations. Just go pull it from your county courthouse online.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's a good list. I mean, the pre-foreclosures, I figured out why they get so hammered. We got a call from a call rail. Like we got an extra phone number from an area code, and it was actually from a dude's phone number that like wasn't a pre-foreclosure list. And I had to shut it down. I was getting like 20 calls a day. It was insane.
Hammered.
Realtors, investors, like loan servicing companies. I'm like, I would never answer my phone again if that was me. So I realized why these people aren't doing it.
Yeah, that's what makes it so hard. Maybe you could text them. I'd text them off my own cell phone.
Oh,
Just keep the text amount low. But yeah. What else could they do? My answer is usually knock. Like, go knock. That's how I got started. I knocked doors for months before I got a deal.
Really?
But knocking, that makes it a little bit harder. Cold calling. I'm not a big fan of direct mail for new people, honestly.
Yeah.
Texting. I think Batch has like 100 free texts.
Yeah, they got like something going on there.
But I mean, if you could use your cell phone, use True People Search, go online to the county courthouse, pull all that, and then just start shooting them out. I mean, what are you doing all day? You're probably not working now. You might as well just do that.
Yeah,
it's 100% free.
It is. And the numbers are pretty good on there, too. You got to work a little harder for it, but they're pretty good for a guy that's got no money.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So.
That's my best advice. Let's call it text. Text them all.
I love texting here. So another question here is, Butler says, what's up, Strat?
What's going on, Mike Butt?
All right, so what software? We already answered that. What about probate? Any tips on getting? Got that one. Hey, Ben. Still pushing for that Corona deal. Oh, boy. So you can still get deals now, guys. It's a lot. I would say it's weird right now. Everything's very uncertain. But if you have a strong enough buyers list, I would start beefing up them and just getting them crazy. I mean, I know, let's see, dude in California, Kent Clothier. He does reverse wholesaling, so like he's huge into like down markets. Like, I'm not calling this a down market yet, but he beefs up his cash buyers first, and then he goes after the sellers. So it'd be an interesting thing to look at. I mean, I'm definitely looking into that. I mean, we're beefing up our cash buyers like crazy. I mean, what are some tips you can give people to beef up the cash buyers list?
Facebook, meetup apps. Facebook has been huge for us, to where we just go post. I use our Podio link.
Okay.
Like,
nice.
Hey, we have a new property that we're looking to offload. Here's our Podio link. Fill it out. We'll send you the info. Networking has been huge for me.
Mm-hmm.
I run a meetup of like 600 people, so that's how I sell my deals.
Yeah. Like a RIA?
Yeah, I run a RIA.
Yeah, I saw that. You were on, you had Pace over. You had a huge thing with Jamel and Pace. That was
Yeah,
cool.
me and Jason Pritchard had a really big thing with them, and so I'll send it out through there. What else could you do to build up your buyers list? That's one thing to where I haven't been worried. But again, with the sellers, I just offer more certainty. Like you put in, like you offer, like, hey, I will close. You buy it at a good price. But if you can convince them, like, hey, we're real, we're gonna get this done, as compared to the guy who's gonna pay him that much money, be like, do you really think he's smart for paying that much money in this type of market? Would you pay that much money? Another buyer's tip: we go on PropStream, and we'll get a radius of all the cash buyers, and then we'll skip trace them and call them. We put a VA, we bought like cash buyers data feed or whatever, and just skip trace it all and had a VA cold call them and just add them to our Podio.
Definitely. I mean, let's see here. So Claudia's got a really good point there. Realtors have buyers. We have crazy connections with some realtors. You're going to find out this, some like buyer's agents, they got like 20 cash buyers like on standby that will pay a stupid price for it.
Yeah, like you don't feel comfortable selling it, honestly.
I don't. Like I'm comfortable saying this. Like there's 3 properties this last year that we sold to them for a stupid price, and they lost a lot of money. And I told the realtor, I'm like, I want this. I'm like, I think I can get a better commission if I get that. And they've got better prices, and they've screwed the buyers, but we made a killing. And it's just, guys, realtors, they're not out for their buyers or sellers' best interest. This is going to be a shocker for you. They're in for their own commission interest. And if you could give them a high commission, they'll screw a buyer or two if they can.
Yeah, man. And like it's the new people. Like if you want the people who pay the most, it's the new buyers who watch HGTV. Then they think they can go buy some house in the hood that's been beaten down for $100,000. It's worth 120.
I mean, speaking of California guys, I mean, Than Merrill, holy moly, those students. Than Merrill's a savage. His students that just go to those free seminars, they don't buy it. They go to the free one, and then they go out and they try to do it without paying the Than Merrill price. They are my best buyers by far. I hate to. I'm not trying to screw them, but I'm like, I think you can make like $50K if you buy this and sell it. And they make like $20K, but they like $300,000 of their own money, and they put all this crazy risk. And I just walk away with the wholesale, and then they're like, "What's wholesaling?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just a fee. Don't worry." And they don't worry about it. But Than Merrill students, they are a gem for me.
That's awful.
It's awful, but I tell them, I'm like, this is the price. Like they're like, I'm gonna make a. They tell me they're like, I'm making a killing offer for you. Are you sure for this price? And I'm like, yeah. Like they've warned me that they think the price is too low sometimes, and I'm just like, hey, this is the price. So I'm not trying to screw these people, but if you have buyers that want to buy it for this price, and they can make some money too, it's a win-win for you. So you should go after it. But these people are going to be a lot harder to find, especially in this market. So,
let's
see here. So we got Claudio just dropped 3,000 texts today. Nice, man. What's the tracing program you're using?
Batch, and I have a promo code Stratton that'll get you like 15 cents. And it'll give you half off your first month.
Definitely. So comment that link below too, so people can check it out. Why are you putting that in there? So Butler buys houses, says, do you have any meetups? It depends what market you're in. I know Stratton has one in Fresno, and we got some RIAs by us in South Florida. They're not really that good, and they're not really legit like his. He's got like 600 people on him. How do you find them? LOL. So
I think he's talking about your Than Merrill buyers.
Oh, okay. So a couple secrets I got here is you go to RIAs, you network. I got people DMing me crazy. Like they see I'm getting checks, and they're like, I want to buy your properties. I want to buy your properties. I've found cash buyers from Instagram before. It's a little weird, but it does work. But Facebook connecting, sometimes Facebook Marketplace I found is pretty good.
Okay.
But Craigslist, I avoid Craigslist like the plague now. It's just a wasteland, in my opinion. It's just, in my market, it's all wholesalers. Like if I post a property on there, I have 5 wholesalers lying to me saying this, I'm a buyer. Let me put this under contract for you. I'm like, where's the earnest money? They're like, no earnest money. And I look up the dude, because I have his email, and he's got he's commenting on like the wholesaling houses full-time Facebook group, like, how do I get my first deal? And like, I don't even like, I don't attack him. I'm just like, dude, you're not buying this. And I've done that a couple times, and I'm like, I'm done with Craigslist.
We don't, we put up dummy ads, but nothing else. So we'll put them in for sale by owner and looking for real estate, and we have like 10 ads that like will rotate in there. But we don't ever post deals in there. Yeah, no, never gotten like any really good buyers off of it. I know like Jason Pritchard out here, who I co-host the big meetups with, he buys like one property a year off of Craigslist. And so he's always looking. But
I mean, I'll go after Facebook if it's like a for sale by owner, but those wholesalers are they're just destroying that platform right here. So yeah, you commented. So Stratton's things right there, .io, promo code Strat. So we got another one. So Butler, oh yeah, sorry, how do you find them? Another cool part is, I mean, how are bandit signs by you?
I'm not a fan. I didn't see a big return. And that was when I worked for another investor. I was trying to hang like 50 to 100 a day, and we weren't really getting that many phone calls. I know some people still do it. I haven't seen a big return. And then I'd tear everyone else's down too. So it's probably just karma.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my start with bandit signs when I was 17. I was putting them out by high school wrestling tournaments. I crazy return, $200 to like 6 figures from those bandit signs. But the returns have really dropped down. Unfortunately for me, I don't know if you know my story or not. I had such a huge team of bandit sign guys that the county actually banned bandit signs in my county, and you can't even put a bandit sign in my county anymore because they pick them up like crazy, and I'm the sole reason for it. Like you got county fairs, nope, nothing, and they actually listed me as the reason. Like the Treasure Coast Homebuyers guy, like, he's the reason why we got to stop it. They legitimately hired 3 code enforcement officers by the time I was 18.
Did you get hammered for it with fines or no?
They called me and they said this because I was 17, I was in high school. So they're like this, hey, this is whatever code enforcement. And then I'm like, hello, this is Church Coast Homebuyers. And they're like, what's your name? And I always said this, I'm like, I said like, it's Zach. And I'd always answer truthfully, my name's Zach. They're like, what's your last name, your address? I'm like, I just answer the phones. Do you want to contact the owner? They're like, yeah. Okay, let me get your info. And I always put it down. They'd always call me. I actually had the police call me once on the bandit sign number. And I knew nothing I was doing was illegal. And I answered it very calmly. And I acted like I was just the, call porter guy. Yeah. And they can't nail you like that. Like, they're going to nail the call porter dude. So I never give the info out. I just say, my name's Zach. It's in my voicemail. And it's almost impossible to nail you when you're just the answering dude.
It's legit.
You gotta be careful. But if you start getting them mad, you start doing like the zip ties and stuff like that. They'll go. I've heard stories. It never happened with me with bandit signs that they'd actually set an appointment at their house, the code enforcement dude's house, and like nail you there. I've never seen that happen, but I've heard stories.
I've never heard of that. I wouldn't doubt it though.
It's insane. So I'm pretty lucky. We do bandit signs. So this is actually all from a question from Butler here. So if you're in a very desperate situation to sell a property, you could always do the white bandit sign, the yellow bandit sign, say like 4232 CBS property must sell 50K. And we found a lot of cash buyers when we're in a bind on some properties doing that. I mean, have you ever done that?
No, actually, I saw on Butler's story the other day. He did that for one of his properties.
Oh.
But like I said, I don't like locking up stuff that I'm not confident in.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, bro, I'll send it to a buyer like, hey, you want this? Yeah, I'd want to buy it at this. And then we could back it out. And if I'm making 20 grand, like, what do I care?
Sure.
And like, I know the numbers, everything else. And that way, I don't want a stressful life. I don't want to be sitting on a property like, oh man, how am I going to get this thing sold? And then maybe have to back out. That's not anything I want to do.
Definitely. I mean, I know a lot of my audience, I don't know if they know me too well either, but we're actually past probably 2 years, we've been 80% wholesale, 20% wholesale. And we had a weird thing with the coronavirus, and we actually decided to wholesale the last 4 properties we had just because we took the 20 to 30K on there. You can check. We posted those checks like literally the date before the first coronavirus death. And then we got some more properties under contract. And I was like, oh, we're not going to close on these. And we wholesaled them. We made our money. And now we're in the situation where we got some deals under contract, but we're not going to buy them anymore. We're exclusively just going to wholesale them. And I just wanted to make that announcement too. Like we're all in a wholesaling subject to creative finance. Like the wholesale, it's just too risky now to actually buy it.
Yeah.
So we got a question here from Butler again. The sign was a buyer trap, similar to the crate. Yeah. Oh my God. Buyer traps on bandit signs are the worst. So when I tell my students and other people, like they need to write legitimately, don't write 3-2 unless you have a 3-2 under contract. Wholesalers legitimately will write 3-2 must sell desperate, and they don't have anything under contract. And they're just trying to get buyers. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. You're just, it's terrible. So guys, comment any questions you got for Stratton or me, and we can go over talk about that. But this is a pretty interesting conversation we're having here. Interesting. First time I met you, but that's it. How old are you?
25.
25. Oh, young dude.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh, wow. So you've been doing this 3 years? You just got started in high school?
Yep.
That's dope. I wish I would have got started in high school.
Yeah, so that's cool. So for my followers, you don't know, he actually played college football, tried out for the NFL, crazy great athlete, and now he's doing real estate investing full time and is doing amazing with it. So it's cool. But most of you guys know who you are. I mean, you know who Stratton Brown is.
Not even, dude. I got 5 callers, but I got to hop on a call with the seller right now. So
all right.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. Check him out at, you know his handles here. So I'm going to go post you another shout out to after this. So I appreciate you coming on and have a cool conversation, but keep killing out there, man.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right. Check him out. He's going to be on the podcast later, but later this year, 2020, he's going to be on the podcast.
All right, bro.
All right. See you, man. All right, guys. So that was awesome, man. So comment some questions below. I'm about to hop off here. So OFAS, is that Spanish? My Spanish is not that good. It's